Hi everybody, thanks for following the link and finding this video. I wanted to make a quick explanation of what's going on with the ITA Innovation Project and communicate that to everybody. So I want to do a quick run through of what the games look like. There'll be 3 videos I'm going to post, one of each module. The third module is still in development, so I can just kind of show you the last build that I've created. Yeah, this is the first one, the Millwright module. So if you go to your Chrome or whatever browser you want and you go to blairpatterson.itch.io and click on the link, it will take you to a online server where I have the games hosted. So from there, if you click on there, so you have the Millwright test, the machines module 2, and then the third AR module, which is a little bit different. That's an APK file for an Android device. And click on Millwright test and run game. And the first time that you click on this link, it might take a little bit of time because it'll need to adjust settings and download small amounts of material for the web browser. But this game is set in an HTML5 setting. So if you open up the browser to full screen in the bottom right corner, it will give you the full link, and I'll go ahead and do that. And now, as you can see, I'm in the full game environment. Now you might have to click on the screen in order to make things work properly. You might not be able to turn all the way around if you don't. So here we are. We're in level 1 of the Millwright module that I created. As you can see, it's a 3D environment. It's designed to simulate kind of a shop working environment. There's some milling machines and some lathes and things that the students can walk around. But as far as the lesson, what I've created here is a 3-part lesson and an example explaining what gear ratios are and what they're all about. And that was all based off of some math sheets that we give to our apprenticeship students. And then inside the environment you have 6 tables. Each one of these tables is a gearbox that needs to be assembled, and on each table there's 3 options of gears that the students can choose to assemble a gearbox with. So for the basic controls, you're looking at W moves forward, S moves backwards, A moves to the left, and D moves to the right. So you kind of have to do that with the mouse, and this is a very standard first-person shooter style control system that is in most video games today. So I wanted to go with something that was a little bit more familiar to kids and some of the gaming that they do today. So yeah, let's complete this first challenge. I'm just going to do 1 gearbox of each, just to kind of show what this is all about, but I don't necessarily want to make the video too long. So this is asking for a 4:1 ratio, and because I made the game and I know what the correct answers are, I'll drop this first gear set into this, and as you can see, it gives you a very positive effect, and you see the gearbox light up, and then you can see the gears actually start to rotate. And that was all based off of feedback that I got from the students. It used to just give you a success and then go solid, but they wanted to see the gears turn and be a little bit more interactive. So I want to just quickly show what it looks like if you assemble the wrong gear. So this one's looking for a 2:1, and this one is not a 2:1, and I'll drop it in. So if you have your speaker turned up really loud right now, maybe turn it down. I did get feedback that this was a little bit loud, and so I'm going to go into the settings and adjust that for the final release of the game. It's on my to-do list, but when I install that into the wrong gearbox, it gives you a negative reaction. As you can see, the gearbox didn't light up, the gears didn't go solid, and it's not a positive result. Okay, so I'm going to skip ahead to the next level. I have a button in here, Alt, that will skip me to the next level. And in the next level, there's another 6 tables, another 6 gearboxes. This time it's a little bit different, a little more complicated. I have given a 2-to-1 reduction in this gearbox, but this time instead of choosing the gears, you have to actually select the missing gear. So for this one being a 2-to-1, there's 24 teeth on the small pinion. The students would have to realize that if it's 2-to-1, there's twice as many teeth on here, and that they need a 48 tooth gear. And if they were to explore and look around the room, then you can see that there's a shelf with 6 different types of gears. You would grab a 48 tooth gear simply by putting the target on top of it and clicking on it, and then you can see that I double clicked because I have my mouse, but I just re-picked it up and I take it over to the table, and then I drop the gear in, and then I'm successful. If it wasn't successful, the gear would make a similar negative sound and then just appear back on the table. So that's the second one. I'm going to skip now to the third level. Oh, sorry, and again, there's some information on the wall, a little bit of a lesson where I've blanked out the gears to show what's available there. So now that I skipped through to the last module here, and I put the students back in the main room, and as you can see, the green to the final challenge room over here is now complete. And inside this final challenge, things are a little bit more complicated. Now we have a conveyor, a chute and a conveyor, and we have electric motor, a gearbox, and a drive pulley for a conveyor system. And now what the students have to do a little bit of problem solving, a little bit of thinking, and they have to look that the electric motor is the input for the gearbox. We don't know what the reduction of the motor of the gearbox is, and we don't know what the input tooth is, and we have the output conveyor drums. So now the student needs to figure out from the 677 conveyor drum, the 1800 motor, what the reduction is in the gearbox, and then go back to the last room and select a gear and complete the module. And that'll complete the first Millwright module game. When I finished that module, I had a lot of really great feedback from the students, and I implemented that and really changed it around to make it a little bit more gamified for the second one, which will be my next video explanation. As also you can see, there's check marks and green lights in the rooms as you finish, and once you finish a level or a room, then the gearboxes become inert. They won't work anymore. I can click and try to assemble this gearbox, but you'll see that it doesn't work because this has already been completed, judging by the giant check mark. Okay, so I'll go through and I'll do a run through of the machinist video for you right after this.